Howdy y'all, welcome back to Rat Says Hot Rods. I'm struggling to get the audio done in this video because I have a new dog and he likes running around a lot and playing with random things, so bear with me. I'm not going to re-record this. This is the Road Glide paint job part 2, and what are you going to see? Adhesion promoter, and then primer, then a black sealer, and then we're going to hit it with the Subaru Urban Titanium that was chosen by a friend of mine that owns this bike. It is PPG Deltron, top of the line stuff. I'm wiping down all these plastic parts right now with a anti-static wipe made by DeVilbiss, and they seem to work good. Whenever you paint plastic parts, they do tend to build up some static, so I think it's a good move to do so. So I'm going to get this wiped down, and then we're going to hit it with adhesion promoter and then get into the painting. So let me speed this up, and I'll cut back in here in a few. Jump into the adhesion promoter. I use the Bulldog brand. It's the red and blue can. You've probably seen it if you've ever been to a paint supply house. You can also look it up online. There are other brands. I use this brand and it hasn't let me down. They do make some other good products too. One is a scuffing paste that I use. I use it on all plastic parts, but it's kind of like a cleaner soap with some abrasive in it. It's basically like the lava hand soap or Gojo. What it does is it scuffs the surface for one, but it also takes the mold release off if you have raw plastic parts. There goes Ted. Good timing. So I go through and I shoot one coat on there. I think you can put 2 coats on there if you want, but I hit it fairly medium wet, and that seems to work good. Let it dry out, follow the instructions. They're right on the can, I believe, or you can download the PDF. So I'm going to run through, put adhesion promoter on all this good stuff, and then we'll be ready to lay down the primer. Don't make a mistake, make a mistake. Safety first. As you can see, I've got my PAPR on, pressurized air pressure respirator, positive air pressure respirator. These things are awesome. They are expensive, but you only have one set of lungs, and God, you probably put a lot more money into other things for this car hobby of yours. And I know I did, and this is the best decision I ever made to buy one of these things. You cannot smell any trace of paint when you're painting with one, mixing with one on anything. It's wonderful. The filters last a long time. Make sure you cover them up with the plastic cups that come with them. But yeah, check it out. It's a 3M PAPR painter's kit, PAPR. Is what we call them in the healthcare world. We are shooting what is this stuff called? This is the U-Pole 4:1 high build primer, but we're shooting it as a sealer, so you mix it 4:1:2, 4 parts primer, 1 part reducer, 1 part hardener, 2 parts reducer. 4 parts, let me say that again, 4 parts primer, 1 part hardener, 2 parts reducer makes a good sealer. It makes a great high build when you do the 1 to none or the 1 to 1 ratio, which you'll see here fender from hell when I get to painting on that here later. So I chose these parts because they are getting the paint job and the full clear, but there's no pinstriping going on. And the other parts that are back there in the bags, those parts are going to have, I've got to spray down a black base, tape it out, then spray over the top of that with the final base color and then clear coat. So you'll see that in videos upcoming. So that's how I made the choice to shoot these ones here and leave the other ones for later. The color choice that was chosen for this is called Subaru Urban Titanium. It's a really cool metallic, and it's got some blue pearl in it, charcoal gray, gunmetal gray, I think is what I'd call it, but Subaru Urban Titanium, and it's exceptional looking in the sun. Yeah, what else can I say? PPG Deltron, top of the line. I think if you're going to shoot a metallic, at least for me, more of a hobby painter, the flake generally lays itself out a lot easier. You don't have to do as much control coating. You don't get as much modeling and things like that as you do with the cheaper paints. And I've sprayed just about everything in a practice format, so pay the extra money if it's going to be a metallic, and let your buddy know that, yeah, it's going to cost you more because you want a metallic paint job. I'm going to buy high quality paint. Pearls, and then just solid base coats, not as big of a deal. You do apply more coats to get coverage, but I'm telling you, when you pay for the top of the line paint in whatever brand line you like, it makes a huge difference. All right, one coat of sealer we'll run through. I'll join you back here in a minute. So it was 2 coats of sealer to get good coverage. I forgot about that. Got to realize most of this work was done, 4 months prior to the video actually being produced, so forgive me. 2 coats of the U-pole sealer. Giving it a quick tack rag, as the gunman would say, giving it a quick tack. And then we're going to hit it with that base coat, Subaru Urban Titanium PPG Deltron. What else? You can see the fans working away. Oh yeah, this SATA mini jet. I got this. I won this from Sprayway Customs. If you haven't gone to his channel, I'll put a link below. But Sprayway is the man, and yeah, I won it in kind of a lottery pick from making a comment on one of his videos. So it's a pretty badass little gun. What have I learned with it? Sprays really good, really true. A little bit of practice goes a long ways with that particular gun. Any kind of gun you get takes some time to get comfortable with, I think. And yeah, it's a good gun, super high quality. And I like it for painting motorcycles because it's small, it gets in and gets around, and it's not clunky. One thing that I did throw away was the plastic cup that you see on top of there. It's not a genuine SATA cup. They come with that RPS system or whatever, rapid deployment. Anyway, the upside down cup thing, which those things are good, but you do have to buy a lot of them for a hobby guy. It's nicer to have a cleanable pot or cup like this. But this is a generic one that I got off eBay, and I was getting drips because the lid, no matter how tight you got it, it just didn't really cinch down. And I've since learned to throw a plastic glove or a rubber glove in there and then tighten it down. But this thing was so defective, I threw it abruptly against the garage door, and I think I cut that out of the video. And the lid was warped to hell and back. So I bought some more of the RPS cups, and you'll see those when we do the clear, because it took me that long to finally give up on using this cup.
I think it's time. I think it's time. Don't be late. Don't wait. On your face.
Now Johnny is dead, no hands can hold him back. Dissolving in a subway station, smart liquor, surprise attacks. Send his voice to the army, he don't need it anymore. Send his soul to the bathroom, he'll be as dirty as before. Get down now.
All right, not sure you caught it, but every time on that third coat, I'd put it down good and wet, and then I would back off to about a foot away to a foot and a half away and kind of dust down a drop coat or control coat. Different people call it different things. Basically, is to get that metallic all to look the same and lay the same way. So you can try that. I didn't up the air pressure. A lot of guys will bump the air pressure up and things like that, but I do. It seems to come out pretty good with a high quality paint if you just back up a little bit right after that final coat. Another good tip that I learned by doing some motorcycle paint work is going around with a good flashlight and checking after you've laid that third coat of base and make sure that you've gotten to every nook and cranny on these small parts, because I've gone all the way out to assembly and then noticed that I missed some certain, small spots that while you can't see it on the stand, the second you put it up to its final position on the bike, then you can see, oh shit, I missed a spot. So, and that's pretty much what I just found out here in the video. I'm going to end up taking off these two little covers that mount on the fairing and positioning them differently over on the table and spraying them that way. So it's a good trick. Grab yourself a good quality little flashlight and check your work after that, after you think you've got your last coat down, because you can save yourself a lot of work.
Brother Bill got down, and when he got there, he...
Moon suits on, time for clear. I picked these suits up from Amazon because they're about half the cost of buying them at the auto body paint body supply shop, and they actually have them in a size that doesn't make me talk in a high-pitched voice. If you're tall, you know what I mean. These coveralls are horrendously lacking in the length department, so I buy 3X ones off of Amazon, and they work really good. I get them with the booties and the hood. They say that 90% of the dust and dirt that gets in your paint job comes from the painter's body. So when I get to the clear, I throw the suit on, and I think it makes a huge difference. That and wetting the floors down make a very, very big difference. So give that a shot next time, and if you want cheaper ones, check out Amazon. We're going to lay down 3 coats of high solid clear. It's the U-pole also, and yeah, we'll wrap it up here in a few after the clear goes down, and we'll have a brief look at how they turn out from this camera angle. I really should get into the habit of not running out to the bar right after I've done this and walking around with the video camera instead. and getting some good shots. But we'll get some of those later in the following videos. So let's lay down some clear.
The sisters of electricity, they heaved and they sighed. But the organist is assassinated, the devil's out on his parole. The fires keep getting hotter, the glacier's out of control. And it's goodbye to Cadillac, farewell to steel. Goodbye to the motion inside the memory of the wheel. The girls at the bus stop know exactly what I want, but I leave them over my shoulder cause they don't need what I got. Get down. Now what is that song that makes my ears bleed? I heard it on the radio at the dentist and it really got through to me. And I searched every station, even left my house to go to the store. That song was never written, that poet was never born. Now Sister Sue, dressed in blue, spent that poet's very last chance. Now she sits in forgotten motor inns, watching reruns of MASH, swallowing 7 of these and 4 of those with a glass in every hand.
All right, all wrapped up for this one, guys. Sprayway Customs, thank you very much for the SATA Mini Jet. It's an awesome gun. If you are looking at mini spray guns, then I suggest you give the SATA a look. Of course, you can't go wrong with any of their products, but it's a good one. 3 coats of clear on top of 3 coats of the Deltron PPG base coat. The U-POL high solids clear was used, and yeah, rock and roll. I'll see you guys here in the near future when we paint the rest of those parts. In the next video, we'll be laying down the fine line tape over a black base, spraying the urban titanium over that, and then pulling that fine line off, hitting it with a clear, and there we go. We've got our pinstripe. So thanks all for the subscriptions and likes, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and grease, sucker.